Ali, and welcome to the royalty. I'm listening. Convince me. Stern, you are up. You are first to go. Who is your faction? Have I not got it on lowest latency? I could not. Could be true. Gotta wait for the faction, guys. If we don't have a faction, how am I gonna learn about it? Good evening, Leo! You are also up then. Who is your faction? Welcome in, by the way. I feel like Stern is typing out a paragraph. I'm ready for it. I'm so ready for it. Nids? Yeah, but Leo, you're convincing me to join your faction. So why? Why should I join the Tyranids? It's the whole point. The whole point is you guys are going to convince me to join your factions. Whichever one wins gets a dedicated video to it, well, a dedicated live stream to it. And the person who wins gets to pick all the videos. So if there's some Tyranid videos you want to see, Leo, you could get me to watch them. Even if we already covered it before. So don't worry. Hey, kitten. So she wants me to join the Felinids. Why? She said cat girls. It's a very strong argument to start with. Very strong argument. Come on, you guys have me here. You get to ask me about anything. You get to like pick any faction and convince me. GG! PV, by the way. Why Chaos? Because Chaos is the best so far. We're a family. I got all my broodlings with me. Alright, I'm going to be making notes of all of the reasons why you guys say I should join your faction. And I'm also going to rank them. I'm not going to tell you when I'm ranking them. Yo, let's go! Hello, Dan. Who would be your faction? So Tyranids, family, I got all my broodlings. Is that the only argument? Leo, if that's your only argument, like it's a good argument, but I'm gonna need more if I'm going to change the trajectory of my own. Is that not? We are family. I got all my broodlings with me. Yes, it is, but I'm just bad. Okay, but it's still not a good enough argument to join the Tyranids. The whole point of this is you've got to convince me to join the Tyranids. Come on. This is the whole adventure. I set this up for you guys. Y'all were saying so many times, join my faction is the best, prove it. Yo, Sean, it's been so long, I've missed you. You were in all of my streams for a while and then you had to take a break, because real life stuff, and I was heartbroken, because you used to always give me the best info. Sean, why should I join the Orcs? I missed you! There's no good, no evil, no pain or suffering. Everything is just hunger and feeding. That's a good ass argument. That's a good ass argument. You literally can't fail Orcs. It sounds like my life already, just hunger and feeding. Well, maybe you're a Tyranid. Literally can't fail. Oh, no. So this is the thing. You can put as many arguments for any faction. I'm listing the factions raised and the arguments that are given. So even if you talk about two different factions, I will be taking your points and adding it to my notepad. So don't worry. You can go to the Blood Angels for a bit and then come back to the Orcs. I think Stern is still typing out a paragraph. And I don't know who he's picked. This is amazing. You can do 2, yes! You just have to give me the arguments. You can raise 2, but I will choose which one's the best. If it's one of the 2 that you raised, then you win. If your paint job fucks up, it fits. If you make the most random shit in headcanon, it will still fit. Paint job fucked. Works. Make shit up. Still works. Got it. Orcs have got some pretty good arguments right now. I think there's some pretty good arguments coming out of this. I'm still gonna need more though. I'm still gonna need a reason to go over to your sides. Because right now I'm a Slaaneshi. You know what I mean? Like, I'm chaos. But you guys have factions of all types. If a new tank for a Space Marine Imperial Guard comes out, guess what Orc players say? What do they say? I got jokes and everything coming out here. Like, check out our new tank, boys! They got jokes. Orcs got jokes. Orcs doing well. Orcs are already, like, Tyranids, you know? We're doing well, but now Orcs have overtaken, I think. Orcs loot everything. That does sound like me. I'm getting some great arguments here. Dark Angels. Okay, loyalty is its own reward. Got it. Orcs, it's free real estate. That's funny. You can take any vehicle and orcify it up. That's a good one. Nice. Alright, Dark Angels, loyalty is its own reward. That's you know, that's a good point of view. That's a good, like, you could be your own version of loyalist. That's pretty sick. And you can take any vehicle and occupy it up. I like that. I like that approach to things. I do. Space Marines, my favorite is Blood Angels. I do know that. Do you have arguments for the Blood Angels? Well, I'm putting them on a list underneath the faction, so you kind of would have to tell me what faction you were talking about at the very least. And also, Sean, if you're doing Orcs, why am I not having Orc speech? You're doing arguments in plain English? That isn't the Orc way! Oh, hello. My camera just, woo! But yeah, I do have to know what it's referring to in order to, like, rank everyone's arguments. PC crash? No worries. Tau and Emperor's Children. Let's go. Emp's Kids, that's me. Yeah, you get to riot! See? That's what I wanted! You're on phone? Oh, good luck moderating on phone. I like it. I like it. Orcs riot. I'm getting some good arguments. Emp's Kids gets an advantage because I'm already an Emperor's Child. So, they do have a slight advantage, I'm not going to lie to you. But I'm not saying I can't be swayed. I have been swayed on many things in my time. But we'll see what happens today. Okay. Give me my arguments. Leo, do you have any other arguments you'd like to put forward? Mellifluous. Void-scared Corsairs. Okay. And what is your argument for them? Blood Angels have the struggle with redemption and emotions, which is why I love them. Monsters trying to be good men. You know what? That's a good argument. You can be a bastard trying to be good. I like it. I like the vibe. Pirates in space? Woo! They're getting points for that. They're getting points for that immediately. Pirates in space? Tell me more about these pirates in space. You started off really well. So I'm gonna need more from you. I'm gonna need more info on that one. Pirates in space is a win. I grab a snack real quick. No worries. No worries. Enjoy your snacko. I'm ready for the arguments. This is gonna be fun. I'm excited for this. Imagine if members of the Eldari and the Drunkari decided to abandon everything, steal a ship, and head off on an adventure. Sounds fucking sick. Your grammar's off today, don't even worry. Your grammar can be whatever it wants. I want people talking like orcs. Where the 8 legions choose warfare and mediocrity, or decency in all aspects of war, Dark Angels strive for excellence in everything. I'm a perfectionist, I like that view. That's a good argument. That's a good argument. For orcs, ain't no get knows an orc player. You wasn't fun at the game. Shops and blubbins. That's a good argument. Most orcs are a fun guy. Also, you get a massive superiority complex. You know what? That's a vibe. I'll take one of those. And that's the pirates. Pirates sounding pretty sick. Pirates sounding pretty sick so far. Okay. Dan, that was funny, by the way. I laughed. I'm excited to hear some more of these arguments. I am very much open to being changed of my opinion, as long as I'm given good arguments. The orcs have good arguments. Dark Angels got some good arguments. Like the Void Scarred Corsairs have got like several arguments right now. I quite like the idea of being a pirate in space. My entire argument in 44 seconds, fabulous argument. Mellifluous, that was a good ass argument. Pirates in space, imagine members of the Eldari and Drunkari decide to abandon everything, steal a ship, and head off on adventure. It's got adventure, it's got intrigue, and it's got a superiority complex. I like it. I like it. Is there any other factions that you are fighting for? Or is there any other arguments you want to give just to give yourself a bit more of a winning chance? Because remember, there is a winner today. I pick the best 2 factions, and y'all pick between those 2. And they get a live stream dedicated to only them. And you get to pick all of the videos. The Orc Pirates loot the galaxy with all the reject gifts of other clans. It's true, they're thrifty. They're thrifty. It's evolution, baby! Hey, if someone wants to argue with the Gene Stealer cults, let's go. You forgot orcs have pirates too, then you're gonna have to give me something more mellifluous. If you want to win, you can't just rely on the base details. I need some grit. I need individuals. I need to know what color their armor is and whether it's blue. Any faction with blue armor instantly gains a bonus point. Checkmate, you get. Let's go. All right, come on. I'm gonna be taking more arguments. This is a whole stream of arguments. I want to hear everyone's view, because after this, y'all can't try and convince me to join you. Ultramarines are blue, but the Ultramarines are piss boys. That's different. Like, you know what I mean? It's different. Crimson Fists? You want to tell us about the Crimson Fists? I'm open to hearing any of them. I'll even look up some of the stuff. Let me look up the Void Scarred Corsairs. So Nest factions are mostly magenta. They are. And purple is my second favorite color. So, hey, Pirate Boys are blue. Pirate Boys are blue. Pirate Boys look pretty cool. This one's got a sniper. I like snipers. Have death skulls. They sneaky blue gits. See, this is what I'm saying. There's so many arguments you guys can throw at me. Orcs clean up proper. You take that back? Maybe. No. Yo, Shock System, what faction do you represent? Give me the information. Give me your arguments. Death Skulls? I've got the Death Skulls. I've got them, don't worry, they're right here. Right here are the Orcs. I've got more arguments for Orcs than any other faction. Canonically take pretty much any Eldar or Dark Eldar unit type. Do you mean in a they can bring them into their faction, or do you mean in a way that they could take them in a fight? Two different things there. Two different things. For Orcs and the Goths clan, so they've got Goths. Okay, I'm down. Wow! Like, honestly, there's more arguments for Orcs than anything right now. Because they're the best. Yo, Dylan! We've got plenty of arguments coming in. Plenty of arguments for plenty more to be had. Relictors are a loyalist chapter that use chaos artifacts and weapons to fight chaos. Okay. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Using their own weapons against them. I kind of like that. Not a big fan that they're against chaos, but like... In the faction, any Eldar who abandons the craft world or Kamara, fair game. Oh, let's go. Oh, and they got Harlequins with them. I like the Harlequins. That's not meme. They're tougher than most. Oh, okay. Void Scarred Corsairs are starting to build up in this. My ultimate... Oh! Oh! Stanley went to the Discord with his argument. Alright, one sec. This is an argument you need to see to believe. Okay. This is his argument. This is the whole argument. Genderbell Fulgrim is ultimate mommy. I rest my case. That's a good argument. That's a good ass argument. That was well presented. Great picture. I can't deny it. That was a good argument. That's cheating? How is that cheating? Glorious Hive Mind? Well, listen. Give me your arguments. Oh my god, fucking amazing. Which one? Because I'm not a part. It's not cheating, Liam, don't worry. You can also send pictures of fit people. Rylanor, enough said. Rylanor's not a mommy. But he is for the Emperor's Children, so I'll put him in your argument. I'll put him in the argument. Of course there's a rule 63 out of Fulgrim. Of course there is. Right, Emp's Kids has only got 2 arguments right now. Yeah, but he's a Dreadnought for the Emp's Kids. And some of the worst. It's true. Each Orc clan is a different thing. Goths are tough lads, bad moods are thieving gifts. Blood Axe have some sneaky un-orky thinky. Ooh. Oh, Rylan was dead. Bye. So he's not even an argument for it. Damn. Okay. Rylanor is one of the biggest badasses in 40k. Okay, so Emperor's Children is going to be separated into Loyalist and non. Emp's Kid Lame Edition. Oh, he's still up against Fulgrim. I bet that went well. Okay, Shock, I'm going to have to hear some Tyranid arguments. Yeah, I've got the Harlequins on Void Scarred. I want to make sure I get everything in. Makes my job much easier. Hive mind because you get to drive Mad Max vehicles, throw dynamite, shave all of your head, all inclusive and bonus third arm. Okay, is the hive mind separate to Tyranids? He's the sole reason the heresy failed from the beginning. That's pretty sick. But you're trying to convince me to join your faction. So I need more personal arguments. Yes, you think Rylanor's cool. I want to know who he killed, how he killed him, and what weapons he used. Still taking arguments? Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm putting them together. Because we've got some Tyranid arguments already, so I'm going to add that. He helped Fulgrim in his pride. Damn, there's a song about him. Should we listen to the song? Do we listen to the song about Rylanor? Tuska Demon Killer? Who Tuska Demon Killer? Who is Tuska? He detonated a virus bomb in Fulgrim's face. Okay, he's getting points for that. That was fucking sick. Ah, nice. The song's kind of meh. I'll still listen to the song. I may as well. Yo, okay. Oh, that's a good argument for the orcs. Where, Dagon, get in your arguments.
Soil, we heard the repeating cries of a fragment of metal. So true to Magnus's orders, I take my company's reins onto the surface we settle. And as we branch out and explore the
Not bad.
wreckage, we uncover our terminal's long-lost message, a visage of the past.
Hey, so far, I'm not gonna lie to you, Void Scared Corsairs and Orcs are winning. Emperor's Children, it like only has one argument for it so far, and that's that I'm in there. So, listen here, Liam. I am open to changing my faction today.
And of beautiful cities, so what has occurred here? What are we missing?
Okay.
There is something wrong here, there is something hidden. With every second growing closer, I feel it in me. My mind shudders when it's my heart race. A psychic scream like a crushing weight, resounding in every corner of the world. The ancient awaits. Wrapped in grief and beset by pain. It bides its time, all it does is wait. We shoulder the hardship now and we endure. And to its source we'll trace. The sight before my eyes is stark.
That was cool. I'm gonna listen to the rest of that later. I want to make sure that I... Ooh. So Voldemort. Doom Rider is EC. You're gonna have to be more clear. Salamanders are the best faction because they got one of the few Gs that will go out of the way to save you. Alright, Salamanders get in their own list. I'll tell you in a minute who's been argued for, and then you can either add to the argument or you can remove it. Fabius Bile is a minus, okay? Who is one of the most interesting and enigmatic Chaos characters? He do be. But he's also disgusting. But you know what? It's still a plus. Doom Rider is also headless. That's pretty cool. Someone comes in with the Inquisition. No one's tried to argue the Inquisition yet. I have had arguments for Tyranids, Orcs, Dark Angels, Blood Angels, Tau, but no one's given actually argument for it. They've just told me they're going to argue for it. Stern. We can do the calls. We can do the calls. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some arguments going, and then I'm happy to do a call. But Stern, if you want to come on and sacrifice yourself, please enter the editing chat. He's not as bad if you read his book series. Ah, okay. Orcs have the most kit bashing, that's true. Give you a minute. Okay, Stern is going to come and give his arguments live. I hope you guys are ready for this. By the way, everyone who has been in the chat so far can give their arguments live if they would prefer. They just need to join the Discord. But anyone that's new, unfortunately, that will not be the same for them. Doom Rider is headless because Corson Khan cut his head off. That's funny. You would join the Discord. Are you in the Discord, Manav? If you're not, I'll drop a Discord link. So I will drag you into the Discord when it's your turn to argue. I already have to defend Ultramarines too much in my personal life. Understandable. Understandable. You should have rolls now. I've given you rolls. So you'll now be able to enter. After Sternly has given his arguments, I will invite you into any of the voice chats and I'll drag you to where I am. You're at work? It's okay, Shock, don't worry. Still, he did decapitate a Thunderhawk pilot whilst riding a bike. Who did that? Okay, right, where is Doom Raider? Doom Raider's Emperor's Children, they just gained a fuckload of points. Decapitated a Thunderhawk pilot while riding a bike. He's just gained so many fucking points. Legion of the Damned. Give me some arguments. Okay. Stanley, welcome in to the live chat.
Hello, can you hear me okay?
I can indeed. Lovely to hear you.
Excellent. And you get to enjoy the sound of my wonderful voice as well.
Of course. Of course.
Course.
Okay. Who are you arguing for and what are your arguments?
Okay. So, first off, can I have your permission to... I'll try and be as brief as I can, but can I make the argument for two groups?
You can, but I need you to go one at a time.
That's perfectly fine. So, I'll start off with the Tau, because you were complaining that I wasn't
No one gave me an
making
argument
any
yet.
arguments for them.
No one's given me an argument yet.
Okay, so the thing about the Tau is a lot of people kind of say that they don't fit the setting. They're very not grimdark. They like diplomacy and like limiting casualties.
I
and
don't
stuff.
mind diplomacy.
Yeah. The thing that I think is really cool. Mike fell over.
Oh, no
I have
problems.
The thing that's really cool about the Tau is how the one thing that's different about them compared to all the other races and factions is that they're all ancient races. You know, like humanity is like by this point like an ancient fallen empire. Same with the Tau, same with the Necrons. Everyone's had their time in the sun and they've crumbled. In
Yes.
humanity's history, there was that period, the golden age of technology, when we were dynamic and we were positive and we were all this kind of stuff. But that's long ago, because the horrors of this galaxy eventually beat that out of us, and we, as a trauma response, turned into effectively the Imperium. And every
Okay.
race has gone through that. Except for the Tau. they're on the upswing right now. They're a young race who don't know the kind of galaxy that they're in. And that makes them very interesting to observe. They're basically at the point where humans were during the golden age of technology. They
Okay.
thought they think they can change things. They think they can solve the galaxy's problems. And they're incredibly naive. They don't even fully understand what the hell chaos is. When they find demons, they just think they're really weird aliens.
Okay. Think demons or aliens. I've got it as a pro. I've got it as a pro.
And they're just kind of really endearing. Like, they try really hard. Like, they're still like an imperialist empire. Like, they're not exactly goody two shoes. They're not like the Federation from Star Trek. But they're interesting as a counterpoint to the galaxy because they don't know what they're getting themselves in for on the galactic stage. And also just their technology is really interesting and their cultures are very fleshed out, but this is 40k, so that goes for every single race in the setting.
Yes. Okay, so I've got that they're a young race on the upswing. They don't know the galaxy. They do try and enact diplomacy. They think demons are aliens, and they are endearing. Is there anything you think I've missed?
Well, there's that one example that everybody likes to bring up, usually as a criticism of the Tau, but I think it's actually indicative of what I've been saying, which is that time that they allied with the Dark Eldar.
Okay.
They made a deal with. Do you know? You said you did some research on the Harlequins a while back. Do you know anything about the Dark Eldar?
Yes, I do. I know a little bit. I'd say I have a minimal working knowledge.
Right. Well, the Dark Eldar are they're like Eldar, but like if they embraced the fact that they birthed Slaanesh. Like, they're basically the versions of the Eldar that like created Slaanesh in the first place. So
This is why I know of them.
yeah, so basically they're BDSM to the max. They're like sadistic killers. They love what they do. They kind of have to, but they're not like upset about it.
We've got people in the chat joining in with arguments for Tau. They've got a slick look. They're using human tech against the Imperium.
Yes.
So
yeah,
there you go.
As opposed to the other races, like they've got more of a sci-fi look as opposed to the kind of like rustic look of like other factions, sort of.
Okay.
Because like they're new and they're more they understand their own technology. Anyway, what's it? They were being attacked by the Tyranids one time, and then the Dark Eldar came and was like, "Hey, we're willing to help you out with this." And they were like, "Excellent, we love allies and friends." But you should never ever make a deal with the Dark Eldar.
No, God, no.
And this ended hilariously bad for them because the Dark Eldar suggested a cultural exchange.
Oh, this is where they switched people, isn't it? And they like took some of their people and then they made them horrible and they were like, "What the fuck did you do to my people?"
Honestly, it's a very fun and hilarious instance of like the trusting nature of the
Can I just say, is no one impressed that I actually knew that story?
I'm impressed. I'm honestly
Thank
incredibly
you.
impressed.
Also, Florin, I saw your message about the Grey Knights. I need to see your arguments, though. You've got to put arguments in the chat. Thank you, Sean. And go on.
Actually, so I'll wrap up the Tau, but the last thing I'll do is I'll reference a short story that I read about them once that I thought very, very interesting. And that was a short story told from the perspective of a human in the Tau Empire, because there are humans in the Tau Empire, because they're not interested in genociding everything. So he was an Imperial Guardsman whose planet got taken over by the Tau, and it was very interesting to read from his perspective because he's like, okay, I grew up in an Imperium that taught me from birth to hate aliens and all this kind of stuff, but like he was like wrestling with like his ingrained like bigotry and stuff. Like he was like, I understand, my rational brain understands that my life is actually significantly better with the Tau. Like my children, like he was like looking at the children of a friend of his who died trying to fight off the Tau, and he's like, this kid is going to college right now, whereas if we were still in the Imperium, he would probably have died at age 15 in a factory or something like that.
One moment. Carl, I see what you're saying about goblins. I'm going to need to hear some arguments for him.
And it was just kind of very interesting. That's why, like, in a previous stream, I made the thing of, if I was in this setting, I would just jump on a ship and go straight to, like, Tau space, because, like, it's actually just... It's like the meme of, like, fully automated gay luxury space communism. Like, that meme. But, like, they're not actually communists.
Okay, so I've got diplomacy, young race on the upswing that don't know the galaxy. They think demons are aliens. They're endearing. They're allied with the dark. They allied with the Dark Elder. I still think that's a negative. Slick
Well,
Look.
they regretted that.
Okay, they regret allying with the Dark Elder. Slick Look. A lot of the tech is from humans, so they're technically using human tech against the Imperium. They have the Kroot, who are great. The movie stars, because they haven't had a B movie, and they're actually fun to live with.
Oh yeah, like basically the standard of living on their planets are actually really good, whereas most Imperial planets are hellscapes.
And in negatives, I do need to be honest, there is quite a few. Some people say the tech is boring. Tau sent an ambassador to speak to the Orcs after spending his life learning Orc language, and they killed him and laughed at him.
That is true. They did spend an embarrassing long time trying to negotiate with the Orcs, but they eventually did learn that that was a fool's errand, and now they just kill Orcs on sight.
Okay, well, they tried to bribe demons with gold jewelry, and that didn't work out well either.
You can actually bribe Orcs, actually, like the Imperium does this sometimes.
No, but apparently they tried to bribe demons.
Oh, I didn't hear about that instance. Actually, I'll be very surprised.
Okay, I am going off the chat here, as you know. I have some knowledge, but definitely not an enhanced knowledge. But thank you for your argument to the Tau, and I believe you chose Emperor's Children as your other. But
yes,
which version? My side or the lame edition?
Okay, so Horus Heresy Emperor's Children. So basically Loyalist Emperor's Children are my favorite thing in the entire world.
Alright, let's go.
Okay. I actually used to hate the Emperor's Children way back in the day. Like, because they confused the hell out of me. Because, like, one of the main things that was known about them was that they were incredibly perfectionist. They were very, like, prim and proper. They were, like, excellent. Like, they were all these things. And then they turn into the most degenerate, chaotic Chaos Space Marines imaginable. It was like they turn into the exact opposite of themselves after they fall to Chaos. And that's actually kind of confusing, because a lot of the times the other Chaos Space Marines, they just become exaggerated versions of what they already were.
Oh,
so what?
Apologies, I do need to comment on, you got another Tau argument that's probably the best one I've read. An Ethereal got some sass, so he got that person to slit their own throat.
Oh yeah, that's a famous instance.
That's
People
fucking
who
great.
hate the Tau usually bring that up as an example of how the Tau can be oppressive and stuff. But while that is true, the
fucking
Tau are
sick.
still much less oppressive than the Imperium or almost any other faction.
That's probably one of the best arguments I've seen for it, and I've written down that you can bribe orcs. Florin, I like your argument, I'm gonna need more of them. And Carl, I'm still not seeing goblin stuff. And Mellifluous, I take your point, they'll probably kill you if you bribe them, but you can still bribe them. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so I did my own research
Okay.
on the Emperor's Children, and once I understood them, I realized that I actually love them, and they're massively underrated, just in general.
Agreed.
So, number one, they look sick. The purple armor and their decals are some of the coolest looking things out there. The only Space Marine Legion that looks better is like the Night Lords, and that's just because like they just go way more extra with it. Number two, they've just got incredibly interesting lore. So the whole thing about them is that they're in many ways one of the more tragic legions, and their story is one of the more tragic. So they started off as very, very like.
But it's more Florin, I've got to say, it's more badass that they use mind control over brute force. Continue.
Well, when it comes to the Tau, I think it's more interesting to think that it's just that they've got a very persuasive ideology. Because I kind of don't like how a lot of fans will like kind of go, oh, the answer to everything is chaos or psychic powers. And I'm like, the setting can be more diverse than that, guys. Like maybe like just the greater good is an appealing thing on its face, you know?
Yeah,
Because
I get
there's
that.
because there is a lot of political influence in like early 40k, and now they're just kind of, I feel like nowadays, like every uprising is a chaos uprising. I'm like, maybe people just hate starving. I don't know. How about that?
That would be very cool. I think that should be explored more. But we were up to Tragic Legion. Continue.
Yes. So the Emperor's Children started off as an incredibly promising legion. They were one of the legions that got a lot of experience during the Unification Wars, before the Great Crusade started. They were really dynamic. They were earning a whole ton of honors. And then tragedy struck. Once, at the point when all the legions were preparing to go out into the stars and, you know, go on their own campaigns and stuff, someone tried to sabotage the Gene Seed vaults. They spread a virus that started killing off like all their stores of Gene Seed. And while this affected some Gene Seed from basically all the legions, it completely wiped out all the reserves for the Emperor's Children.
Okay.
So at that point they realized, oh no, if we take any casualties at all, we can't replenish our numbers. So from that from literally the moment of the Great Crusade's beginning, they were a dying legion. And
Okay.
despite that, they did incredible stuff, and they earned a ton of really impressive honors, including one time when they actually saved the Emperor's life. This was before they even found Fulgrim. Like, the Marines. Like, someone tried to assassinate the Emperor with an atomic bomb.
Oh.
And they managed to extract him at great cost. And the Emperor was like, okay, you guys did me so much of a solid that I'm going to give you a unique honor. Do you know like the Imperial
Like the
symbol
Halo
of,
and
like,
stuff.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
no, actually.
Oh,
Something
not
more
even
special
Halo?
than that.
Oh.
Do you know the Imperial Eagle? You know,
Yes.
like the famous Imperial symbol. Do you know like how that's on a bunch of Space Marines' chests and on their armor and stuff?
It's on my it's on my YouTube thumbnail as well.
Exactly.
I had to give myself some prestige.
While nowadays, that's an incredibly common symbol, originally that was basically the symbol of the Emperor specifically, and no one was really allowed to wear that symbol unless they were awarded it. The Emperor's Children were the first, and for the long time, the only Space Marine Legion that was allowed to wear that on their armor, specifically for that reason. Also, just the Emperor kind of relied on them a ton as basically his envoys and stuff. They were really good delegators and ambassadors and stuff. Like, aside from the Custodes, and like elements of like the Dark Angels and the Imperial Fists, the Emperor leaned on the Emperor's Children as kind of his own personal legion in a lot of ways, until Fulgrim was found. Also, they actually got on really well with their regular human things. Like, they didn't treat their human auxiliaries like crap. In fact, they seemed to really like their humans.
Yo, Bromium! Sorry, I'm currently taking arguments from Stern. I'll be with you in a moment. Lovely to see you.
I'm really am going to try and make this
It's okay.
concise.
Nice to humans.
I'll try and not.
I've
ramble
so
too
far
long.
I've got Rylan Orr, because some of these arguments were given before you. Hit Fulgrim in his pride by detonating a virus bomb in his face. Perfectionist became chaos. That's a plus for me. Looks sick. Interesting lore. Tragic Legion. Promising. One of the most experienced in Unification. GNC destroyed in Great Crusade. Killed a fuckload of people. Saved Emp's life. Got the symbol of the Emperor. Good ambassadors and the nice to humans. Yo,
So,
Mateo.
I'll move on to the next point, which is when they eventually found Fulgrim, who, for the record, was actually one of the first found. I think he was like the 4th or 5th Primarch they found.
Yeah.
So Fulgrim was very active throughout the Crusade. Like, he was around for a long time. When they found him, and the Emperor was like, okay, this is cool. Here's your legion. There was only 200 of them left. There was 200, and that was his legion. And the moment when he met them is actually like kind of like an iconic moment in the lore, because he like addressed them as though he was talking to 10,000. You know, and he says, like,
Yeah.
we are the children of the Emperor, you are the Emperor's children, we will do great things. And the Emperor was apparently so impressed with that speech, he was like, you know what? That's a sick line, dude.
That's a sick line, dude.
That's going to be the name of your legion. We're going to call you the Emperor's children. So, like, the Emperor co-signs them as, you know what? This legion, you guys can call yourselves my children. Which, in a way, that's a humongous deal, if you think about it. Like, of all the legions, like, this specific legion to be called the Emperor's children.
Now it's just funny.
And even during all that time, with 200 Marines, Fulgrim managed to build that legion back up, turn it into one of the most notoriously efficient and perfected legions amongst all of them. Like, basically, there's plenty of implications that said that if the legion hadn't been so small, and if they had gotten the same chance to compete with the other legions, like with the same numbers, they would be probably one of the more powerful legions. Like, they would have done astonishing things if they had the chance, but Fulgrim had to spend so much time building them back up and stuff. Fulgrim famously conquered a world with like 7 dudes just to prove a point. Also, the other thing that makes... There's 2 things, the 2 last points I'll say.
Yeah.
Number 1. One of the reasons why the Emperor's Children is the best is because Fulgrim is their Primarch. Just straight up.
Fulgrim,
like, a lot of people...
straight up.
Yeah. Fulgrim is such an interesting character. He... Like, I mean, when you look at Fulgrim, what do you think? He's a prissy princess. He's a twink. He's too gorgeous. He's too pretty for this world. He clearly hasn't done a day's work in his life. You would think that, and in lore, everyone thinks that. But that's not true. He crash landed on a planet that was harsh and desolate, and resources were very limited, to the point that orphans were executed because they did not have the enough food to feed mouths that couldn't contribute immediately. As a child, he had to work in mines, and he did. He was a physical laborer. He learned how to tinker with machinery. He improved through his innovations of being like a hard-working dude.
Okay, I
Like,
do
he
need
worked
to
with
make
his
a point
hands.
quickly. Florin, you just gave points against your faction. Leave that to everyone else. Give me the good. Continue.
He, through hard work, grit, and innovation, he managed to turn this world from... He went from a mine worker to the leader of this planet, and improved things so much that he was able to get things so efficient that people didn't need to work as hard. And for the first time in centuries, he managed to introduce the arts and leisure time back into the planet. He wrote one of the first operas, like, on that planet. He basically reinvented, like, the art scene on that planet once, like, he had things stabilized and stuff. Like, the fact that he's all, like, fabulous, he's got, like, this really extra demeanor, it's because, like, he spent so much of his life without. You know, he's basically rewarding himself for a job well done, sort of a way.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like a princess, but
He
personally built his own Stormbird, which is like a troop transport, his own personal plane. He built that himself, and one of the most famous instances of, like, Primarchs meeting Primarchs in the lore is when he met his brother Ferrus Manus for the first time, and Ferrus Manus was all like, "What are you doing in my forge? You look like you've never held a hammer in your entire life." And they're like, "Okay, have a blacksmith duel with me, bro." And, like, these 2 dudes have a blacksmith duel, seeing who can make the best weapon, and both of them are so impressed with each other's weapons that they gift each other their weapons, and then they hold on to them for the rest of the... Honestly, I can't wait until we do a Fulgrim stream, which will happen eventually.
Whoever wins today gets to pick the stream, like...
that story honestly warms my heart. It's their bond is so cute because you have this really gruff dude, Ferris Manus, and you have like this really frilly princess guy, and like they're the best chums. Like they're the closest Primarchs out of anybody. And oh yeah, and the last thing I think actually I have a quote.
Go on.
Actually, if you don't mind me reading.
I do not mind you reading out.
Okay. So this is an excerpt from the Primarch book where he's on a planet and there's a bunch of civilians kind of crowding around them, looking at them, seeing what's going on, and one of his space marines kind of like shoves a civilian who gets too nosy. And Fulgrim kind of gives out to the guy. And he asks, "How has he insulted you?" And the marine responds, "By comparing us to these primitives." And Fulgrim says, "And why should he not?" Fulgrim, looking around, noting the mood of the crowd. They were on the cusp of flight. Telmar's sudden burst of violence had frightened them, shaken them to their very cores. Stories would spread, flying through the city, and from there the rest of the continent. Awe would turn to fear, fear to resentment, resentment to resistance. And he had seen the same story repeated ad nauseum on a dozen worlds. Fulgrim had always preferred love to fear. Love was stronger. Fear could be conquered, but love never. It waned and swelled, but it never truly faded. He had made himself loved on Kemos, which is his home planet, and he would do the same here. The Primarch sank to one knee, reached down to help Telmar's victim to his feet. The man stared at him with mingled fright and awe, his mouth working soundlessly. Fulgrim smiled and stood. "I came from nothing," he said, fixing his sons with a steady gaze. "I scrabbled in the quarry pits, and down in the deepest mines, carrying buckets on my shoulders because the Ascender blew a gasket," he said. "I broke my fingernails on raw ore, and grew blisters from heat and labor. You looked down on them, blind to the beauty of their struggle, blind to what they might become, if only someone would scrape the filth from their faces." He reached down and lifted a child onto his shoulders. The girl laughed and clapped, unafraid of the giant, even as her mother wept. Fulgrim indicated to the crowd. His voice had driven many of them to their knees. "Look at them, my son. You are the highest, and they the lowest. It is your duty to raise them up, as high as they will go. Anything less is not worthy of you."
We just had a private book reading. How does that feel, everyone? That was fantastic.
Wait, Fulgrim wanted his legion to be like paragons that humanity could look to and be inspired by. That's
yeah,
what he
man of
wanted.
the people. I've got that down. Well, I would like to say... Sean would like to know what book that's from.
That is from Fulgrim, the Phoenician, I believe. It's one of the Primarch novels from the Primarch series. I love that book. It honestly is such a perfect encapsulation of Fulgrim. Even better than his Horus Heresy book, I'll be completely honest, in my opinion.
Well, thank you so much, Stanley. That was amazing. I've taken all of your arguments. You will know at the end of the stream who are in the final two, but that was a good argument.
If I can be an asshole, just two more things. One, Saul Tarvitz is an Emperor's Children captain during the Horus Heresy, who, if he didn't do what he did, the Imperium would have lost the war. He basically got the word out about the Horus Heresy, that everyone had turned traitor. He betrayed his own legion to say, hey, something bad's going on here. Saul Tarvitz, honestly one of my favorite characters ever. He's so cool. And number two, Fulgrim is still... okay. Fulgrim didn't mean to turn to chaos. He picked up a sword that had a demon in it.
Yes.
And it corrupted his mind without him knowing what was going on because the Emperor didn't tell anybody what chaos was. So by the time he realized something was going on, he couldn't even stop himself. So there was a moment in the lore where someone made a perfect clone of Fulgrim, who remembered everything that had happened, and he was completely pure of chaos taint. and he was like, I regret that happened. Like, if I was in my own faculties, I would never have done that. So that proves that Fulgrim is not really responsible for what he did. It was just all chaos madness. And also, since that clone is still technically alive, if we found some way to get him back, we would have a loyalist Fulgrim who could rebuild the Emperor's children in all its
you're
glory.
getting very, very you're copying. I don't know if you know what copying is.
I am coping because that
Copying.
won't ever happen. But I'll leave it there.
Not a problem. Thank you so much. I will be removing you now, but it has been a pleasure and an honor. Thank you, sir.
It has been an honor. Thank you.
Speak to you. Okay, so Mateo, to answer your question, some people will be making arguments through Discord calls. The reason why is because they want to. I'm going to be inviting Sean up next, but any arguments made in the chat are being put into my doc. I'm going to show you guys real quick. I have got a full document of your arguments for every faction. I know it's a bit scuffed, but these are all your arguments. So I am taking all the arguments. I will be taking them all on board. Stern, it was fantastic. Do not apologize for giving me good ass arguments. You have given very thorough, very explained answers, so don't worry. Sean, if you could please enter any of the voice channels. Can you join the call list? You have to join the Discord, but gladly. Let me get you the Discord link. Sean, have you entered a voice chat? I see you in melee training. Quite funny because I'm literally in the chat below you. Hello, Sean!
Orcs no talk, orcs like fight.
Orcs like fight. Well, tell me, Orc, are you here to defend the Orcs or are we going for the Blood Angels?
Alrighty, so I'm gonna have to turn down the YouTube volume real quick.
Yes. We have now
Okay,
got Sean. And
Jesus Christ, where do we even begin with orcs? When it comes to the painting side, there's really no wrong way to do it. It doesn't matter how much you fuck up because it's gonna look like that in lore or in a book.
Okay.
Like that 40k material. and
So
you'll
what I'm
see
going to
it.
do is I'm going to read all the arguments we've had for Orcs so far, and then
Okay.
you can add to those points. So literally
sounds
can't
good.
fail. Paint job,
You
if
can't
it's
fail.
fucked, works. You can make shit up and it still works. If a new tank for the Space Marines and Imperial Guard comes out, guess what the Orc players say? Check out our new tank, boys. I like the joke. I put it in there. Orcs loot everything. You can take any vehicle and Orc fire it up. Oi, you're zogging riot. That's proper Orky. It is.
Nice
Orc
job.
players are very fun when they play the game. There's pirates. They reject the gits of other clans. Orcs have death skulls, and they're sneaky blue gits. There's goths. I liked that. Each orc clan has different things. Goths are the tough lads. Bad Moons are thieving gits, and Blood Axe have some sneaky, unorky finky. Tusker Demon Killer rules an orc, leading a wah through the warp. Can I hear your best wah?
You's ready to get clubbed, humans!
That was amazing. I'm putting Sean's impression on the plus list.
There we go.
An orc so colossally insane that he led War into Khorne's realm and caused such a ruckus that Khorne decided to keep him around for entertainment. Can be primed, and their entire tech is based on imaginations.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning because at first I was a little unorganized and I'm like, now that I'm here, what the fuck do I say?
That's okay.
Because but here's the thing, it's not that I have nothing to say, there's just so much, I don't even know where to begin. So let's start with like the hobby painting side. So the orcs and orc models, you can make them in any wacky ways. You can take weapons and even parts of armor from other factions and throw them on orcs because orcs loot shit. So it works. You could paint them however you like. If you paint them purple, You have to act like you've lost them. Ask any orc
I
player.
know,
like the
I
rules.
am aware of the fact that.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a purple orc?
Here's the thing, if here's what you're signing up for. If you paint orcs purple and you line them all up, the other player is gonna be all like, "Where the fuck's your army?
That's funny.
Where is?" You will get it every goddamn time. But yeah, orcs have the most flexibility on models, on painting, and when it comes to even your skill level, because if you suck at painting, it will still fit for orc paint jobs. And if you're good at painting, you could do some pretty crazy things with orcs, you know? And when it comes to kit bashing, there's so much potential. You have those knights and chaos knights from the other factions. Orcs, you can literally buy a chaos knight and a Gorkanaut and just put the two pieces together and make it a looted knight. Orcs can have knights.
Good argument.
Yeah, it's crazy. There is almost no limit to what you can kit bash with orcs and it be legitimate. It be something that can actually fit. So in regards to going kind of out of whack with orcs, as in like physics and things like that, orcs have something that's known as a Wa energy. The more orcs that gather together, the stronger this energy field becomes. And what it does is that it allows orcs who collectively believe in something to make it so. This goes beyond science, it goes beyond physics, it goes beyond all understanding. So if a bunch of orcs found a bunch of trucks, even if they were like dead on gas and tech priests couldn't start them up, they'd be like, "Oi, boys, we've got some new trucks. Get in the truck, boys." They would all jump in, and the fucking truck would start because they think that now that they have a truck, it's just gonna move. You know,
Yeah.
orcs would drop down from space in rocks. So what they believe is crazy. They literally jump through the warp. You know what Geller fields are?
Do I know what Gellerfields? Yes.
Yeah. So you know why those are there and why they're turned on, right?
Yes, I do believe
Yeah. So yeah, silly question after silly question. But there's a point definitely. Orcs turn that shit off or just destroy it. Because
Oh.
whenever they fly through the warp, yep.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Whenever
whoa!
they
How can they turn off a warp field?
Because they fucking can. Let me explain. It's crazy. So, whenever orcs are not logical, they don't process things the same way. So they're very simple. So their minds are already fucked. So whenever they go through the warp, they don't really go crazy. They just get confused and out of whack. And whenever they get boarded by demons, it's just on-flight entertainment. They get a free fight. They get a fight. They get to
Free
fight
fight.
demons while they're on their way to the next conquest. That's why they turn that shit off. So they can fight, so they can see their boys' heads pop up on others, so they can fuck around. If you read the book, Brutal Cunning, they talk about how weird and funny it is when they warp jump because of all the weird shit that happens and how the demons they get to fight on the way. It's crazy. Like, there's a meme that shows...
If you want to add the meme to Discord, you can at any point.
Yeah, you know, I'll
Just
find
put it
that
in
meme.
put it in main chat. Tell me when it's there, and I will show everyone.
Yeah. So there's a meme, and I'll show it to you later, where it shows essentially demons are happy because they found an Imperial ship with their Gellerfields off. And then it shows orcs looking suspicious, saying the orcs that purposely turned them off. Because those demons are about to get fucked up.
That's funny.
So moving, it's so funny. So I think that's a perfect segue into Tuska Demon Killer.
Go on, Demon Killer.
All right, so this is the one that I kind of started with all the arguments. Korn loves orcs. Korn hates the fact that he can't have more orcs. That's why orcs laugh at Korn berserkers, because orcs are all like, your god wishes that they had us. You're just trying to impress them. We are it. So it's that shit talking. So Tuska Demon Killer was looking for a fight, and he loves fighting demons. And then he found out that you can fight nothing but demons in the warp. So what happened was he took his entire wall and just jumped straight headlong into the warp and into the Immaterium. And he was going through Chaos World after Chaos World in the warp, killing demons along the way until they entered a realm of Khorne, and Tuska Demon Killer was fighting a demon prince of Khorne, and the demon prince of Khorne managed to mortally wound Tuska, and then he chopped the fucker's head right off in the last minute to get the last laugh. And Tuska Demon Killer kills this demon prince of Khorne, and Khorne himself is so impressed that he takes Tuska and his whole wa, not the head. He does something. I know Tuska gets the last kill. You guys in chat, you could go ahead and correct me on that one. But Khorne is so impressed that he takes him to the realm and he brings him back over and over again so he can fight for his entertainment over and over again. That is Tuska Demon Killer.
Okay, very, very cool. Is that the end of your argument, Sean?
Hell no. I got something.
No?
Here's the thing. Yep.
Okay.
So when orcs are killed, they release spores, which means the more you kill, the more spores get released and the more orcs come back. So I will tell you something that applies to orcs that does not apply to any other race.
Okay.
Every single orc that's alive in the 40k universe right now can drop dead down to the last, and they will come back with even more numbers.
And this because of the spores.
Yep. No other race can do that. Not one.
Sounds like we need to exterminate some orcs, man.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yep.
Okay. I believe I have got a lot of arguments for the orcs. Do you have any final arguments for the orcs?
Let's see. I think why I kind of fell in love with them in the first place. And another one is that orc players are always the funnest people at the table. They're the wild cards. They're the ones who show up and just play the game to have fun and to kick some ass, just like how orcs are. So that's one thing that a lot of people like about orcs and agree is that if you're an orc player, you're likely one of the funner people in the group. And I'm not like trying to say that as like self-puff, but it's just something that everyone says. And I think my final argument is growing up, I was inspired by how much orcs love to fight and how much they don't give a fuck. Because you can't stop an orc. If they fail, they'll try again. If they take the ground from under your feet, they'll take it right back. And that's what I love about orcs. Whenever I start to get nervous or have anxiety about things, I think about how orcs are, and then all this shit just goes away.
That's very cute.
Because orcs don't give a fuck. Yeah, they love to fight. Whatever they believe, they make happen. They always come back. They always love to fight. They're always happy. They're the most successful race in the whole galaxy. They're having the most fun. And it really leaks out into people who play orcs. Whether you paint them, whether you play them, whether you learn the wacky ass fucking lore from them, or whether you learn something from them. There's always something to get out of orcs, and I can't think of anything negative. We don't care about being the punching bag, and we whoop ass all the same.
I love that. Now, before we do move on, because we've got a few more people to speak, can you please give me your best orc impression?
All right, I think I got something.
Oh, yeah, Yimmies, you's ready to get cramped. I wouldn't even try to get all them other factions and get some gubbins, because this Harley, Yimmy, she's gonna be with the war. You gubbins get that's proper.
Thank you guys. By the way, just so you know, I actually have a Warhammer podcast called the Voxhammer Podcast.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing. You can link me that.
I will definitely link you that one. I have a few episodes. I'm actually going to start production up within the next couple months. I'm just trying to get certain things in order right now. I've had to stop doing content. I'm actually editing a video of me playing Shooter's Blood and Teeth.
Sick.
Which I plan to have finished and released by next month.
Well, if you ever want me on the podcast, hit me up. I'd love
definitely.
to do that.
That would be awesome.
Anyway, thank you so much, Sean. We're gonna grab Mateo. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye
Gonna
bye.
beat you right now. Bye. I don't know how to actually kick people from calls. I just tell people I'm gonna do it and then they disconnect themselves. English hard. And Sean did do great. That was a really convincing argument for the Orcs. And truthfully, really good. Like, I can't say anything negative about that. That was a good ass argument. Mateo, have you entered a voice chat? Any voice chat will do. Oh, if you click on any of the ones with a little speakerphone next to it, like speedrun training or melee training or cult talk, anything with a speaker next to it. If you just click it. Then I will drag you to where you need to go. That's adorable. I love that. Give you a minute? No worries. Okay, chat, do we have any more arguments? That was a great summary of the Orcs. It was. I think Sean did really well there. I think having speakers come up has definitely been a benefit. I think we're definitely getting some more information. Why would you turn on a Gellerfield to turn off the in-flight information? By the way, I am watching the chat, so do be aware that even when we do have people on, basically the Batman, I did take your notes earlier. So you said, Legion of the Damned, imagine being so unbelievably badass that death can't hold you and drop you back into the universe wherever you're most needed. Basically the Batman of the 40k universe. On Vulcan, he fought 1,000,000 orcs solo. That's a pretty good one. Salamanders. That's the first argument we've had for the salamanders. Oh no, second argument for the salamanders. And Liam, I'm still not seeing arguments for any of those factions. If you don't want to throw in the Raven Guard, then you may have to put in the others. I'm afraid. Imperial Guard, you may need to be that guy. The Beast, and after Vulcan gave his life, all more beasts appeared. How'd you join? So if you've clicked into a voice chat, I will drag you over. Hello, Mateo!
Oh,
Hello, how are we doing?
wait a second, I'm here. Hello?
Hello?
Hello,
Welcome
hello?
in. Hello!
Here I am.
How are we doing?
Very good. Well,
Okay.
first of all, I gotta apologize because I don't speak in English.
It's okay. Can you move slightly closer to the microphone?
Hello?
That's better. Thank you.
Well,
So, who are you supporting?
myself, I am a word bearer. I'm a
Oh,
lot of
it's
things.
time. I knew the word bearers were coming.
But remember the word, yo. No. Tell me, what is the most important thing on someone? Most important thing that you value the most? The honesty, the truth. When they
Honesty
speak
and
the truth,
truth.
no matter. Now, the word bearers originally bring the emperor's word. They worship the emperor as a god. That's why the emperor was walking around and telling people he's not a god. They worship him anyway.
Yes.
When they tell Lordar, I am not a god, you cannot tell me I'm a god, Lordar or that, he just says, yeah, whatever, God. You're testing my faith. I know. I believe in you still. Well, this continued for like 100 years until the emperor just said, enough. You cannot tell people I am a god. This is not permitted. That's just studies. Yes, that's what. And so I have to make an example out of you. I'm going to destroy your
Favorite
factory,
city.
your monarchia.
Yeah.
The city spent like 60 years personally building. I'm going to erase it to the ground, make you and all of your sons kneel in them ashes in front of Robot Human, the couple of custodies, a lot of people. I'm going to make you witness your shame, and then I'm gonna come personally and tell you in your face, I am not a god. You were wrong. You will worship a false idol. Fuck you, and all that. After that, but obviously, Lordar just fall into a huge depression and a huge crisis because everything he ever do was in the name of God. And God himself came and said, fuck you. Well, that hurts, man.
Yeah. That must have
So,
hurt.
so there's a guy that most likely you heard about him. His name is Erebus.
Fuck Erebus!
Not Erebus, of course. But that guy was a Chaos Ancient from first moment. The first chance he ever got, he joined Chaos. He saw Lorgar in this vulnerable state, and he said, the Emperor is a god, of course. He is not a god worthy of worship. I know some gods that would like your worship. So he took Lorgar to Cadia, the planet that was destroyed, pre-Imperial Cadia, which was just a bunch of shamans, primitives, and things. He made them perform a chaos ritual that invoked a demon when nobody knows what a demon was, because Emperor no one tell no one what a demon was. And the demon tell them, your faith was misplaced, but this is righteous. You are a loyal son, but to the wrong path. Come with me. Come to the Eye of Terror. I will show you the true God. So yeah, Lord God's still vulnerable. Join Chaos.
Yep.
So the Warbearers were the OG Chaos worshippers, the OG traitors, until the assholes, of course. So if you are a simp for villains, like myself I am, personally, I am
Simp for villains?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I'm putting that right on the plus.
So if you want to be the most evil, well, race, no, because the Drukhari are a whole different thing, but most evil human guys, you cannot go worse than the people that sacrifice children to the gods. Because by sacrificing people, by torturing people, by
Yeah.
getting possessed, they get rewards by the gods. The rewards that the Emperor never gives them. They were wrong first, that makes us righteous.
That was an incredibly in-depth overview and defense of them. Honesty and truth. Lorgar says whatever when people test his faith. He battled depression. Fuck Erebus. He was misunderstood. And he's righteous. And he supports all 4 Chaos gods, and I'm down with that. I am a simp for villains. He's the most evil human, guys. They kill kids. And chat says Argolthal.
Oh, my boy, Argolthal, how I love him. Well, context. The first Warbear's book is the first heretic. That the protagonist is Argolthal. Argolthal. You see everything that happens through his eyes. You see how Lorgar fell into depression, how Erebus manipulated him, how a lot of things happens. I don't want to spoil anything, but he was very wrongdoing. And It's an interesting guy because in the Legion is just the worst kind of people. He's charismatic, he's sympathetic, he says that gods are real and what they want. But he do it anyway. It's what they that one. It's what his god.
I think you've made some phenomenal points. Mateo, do you have anything else that you want to say in defense of the word bearers?
Fuck errors.
Fuck Aramis! Thank you so much, Mateo. That was fantastic. We do need to get you a better microphone, but your points were loved by chat. Chat did try and call the Inquisitors on you at one point. Be aware of that. But they were fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I hope that you become a Wolbert Sims like myself.
It's on the table. All the ones brought up today are on the table. So we will see, Mateo. But thank you so much for coming in. And do feel free to take part any other time again. Ooh.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, can you hear me? Yes. Okay. He left, which is good, because I don't know how to get rid of people out of voice chats. I really don't. I need to figure that one out. I'm not that good with Discord. Do we have any more arguments? I'm going to read out the factions that are in the debate today. Tyranids, Orcs, Dark Angels, Blood Angels, Tau, Emperor's Kids Lame Edition, Void-Scarred Corsairs, Relictors, Salamanders, Legion of the Damned, Grey Knights, Wordbearers. Are you out to step in and rep the Imperial Guard? Go ahead. I'm ready. When in doubt, you can, honestly, I don't use Discord a lot. I do use Discord a lot, but not... How do I say this? But I'm usually the one to leave first. I'm just like, bye, and then I dip. I'm just kind of like that. So, the Emperor protects. Okay. I'm sure he does for some of y'all. Okay, Imperial Guard. Where is my argument? Mellifluous. And by the way, can I just say a huge thank you to everyone who's come into the voice chat. It's been really interesting to have not only hear you guys for the first time, but have you on with me to discuss these things. Imagine one day you're a completely normal person and one day you get snatched up from your home and given a lasgun and deployed against anything the universe throws at you. Oh, white scars? Okay, I'll take a white scars. We're getting an argument for the white scars. Let's go. Men, we are the first, last, and often the only line of defense against what is out there. You and that fine place of imperial weaponry you hold in your hands is all that is keeping humanity alive. Most of you will probably not live to see your second year in the Guard, and most of you will probably never see your homeworlds again. But I can guarantee you that when you do fall with a prayer to the most high and mighty God Emperor on your lips, you will have earned a right to call yourself a man. It's a good quote, Mellifluous. That was a good quote. Imperial Guard vibe. I didn't do it justice, but I did. I did it. Okay, I've got a lot of arguments here. What about the women? There is no women Space Marines. The only point that needs to be made. You're putting a lot on that quote. Putting a lot on it. But I appreciate that. That's some balls. They were guard. True, true. Okay. I think we've got a good list. Does anyone else want to stop me? Some of the best guard characters are women. Okay, okay. Nice, nice. Add some women into this. I like the inclusion of women. Cadia broke before the guard did. It's true. True. It's a good argument. Okay. Stop me now. If you have arguments, if you have a faction, otherwise I am going to make the decision of who wins. Or at least gets to the top 2. One more for the guard? That is fine. Oh! A last minute inclusion from Sean! He has got orc memes! Sean pulling in the big guns last moment. Ship without a Gellerfield, demons, orcs, demons. Demons boarding the Imperial vessel thinking the Gellerfield failed in the warp. The orcs who stole the Imperial vessel and turned off the Gellerfield. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Sending beams does give some points. You guys have brought some amazing points. I'm taking final arguments. I'll just judge you for it. It's okay, Dagan. How long is it? How long is it? How long is it? I'll consider it. But if everyone gives me videos, I want less than 5 minutes. I will accept. More arguments for the orcs. Okay. Okay. Whoever wins, they pick what I stream. Like they pick the videos, and it's their topic wins, and they pick the videos. So, don't worry about it. You would literally be telling me what to watch. So, Mellifluous, I'm going to need you to tell me the name of the video so that I can look it up. I'll argue for female Space Marines? No, not today. Catch and jungle fires are pretty sick. You didn't argue this. Don't make me get the commissar. Okay. Right, we're gonna watch a video. It's one video, 6 minutes long. It's the final piece of evidence. Check chat. Discord chat? Yo, that's sick! That's so sick. That's really sick. That's really cool. All right, I'm setting up the video. I've got the name. The video's already up. I'm just fixing. Yep, I got it. I'm just fixing my my screen. I have a lot of screens. Okay. This is the final video. It's high time for dinner. Well, you enjoy your dinner, Leo. What are you having? Exactly. This is really sick, by the way. Yes, I will 100% watch more of this dude. It's the final argument from Mellifluous. I like the battle of it. Solid. Oh, what time? how deep we're gonna get. I was just thinking that, Stern. I like that they didn't have to speak to convey the message. I think that was very cool. I think that was very cool. So, everyone, I have tallied my votes, and I've been looking through, and I want to give a top 4 before I make an announcement. Remember, only 2 of them will make it to the poll, but I want to give a top 4. The top 4 that have really either changed my opinion or given me a lot more to think about. I hope that makes sense. Let me just fix my screen real quick. Brilliant. You've got more memes? Okay. Obviously playing Charger with Bayonet to take it down with sheer numbers. It's true, it's true. More memes? Alright. We're gonna allow more memes only because I like memes. Bear with me. That is very cool. Lucky year! New meme for the boys! I like that, I like that. Purge the Xenos! The Emperor... Daka! Yeah, Emperor's a grot. Whoa! A murderous space breed army meticulously put together. Me, an orc player about to be a pain in his ass with mechs and guns made out of broken Magnavoxes, an iron lung from 1973 and some pipe cleaners. Boss, da boss. They're good memes. I'll give you that. They're very good memes. They're very good memes. Okay, so we have been tallying the votes. And I think it's important to say, y'all did great as a collective. As a collective, there was a lot of great arguments. There was a lot of things that I really enjoyed. But, to put it down... Ooh. Nice. In 4th place... Tau. Tau, I think there was a lot of great arguments for. I did enjoy hearing about the Tau. I'll do a top 5. I'm sorry, Imperial Guard, you made 5th. You did. I just want to say I really loved what you gave me, but there was just so much more on the others. Tau, 4th place. 3rd place, and not making it to the poll. The Word Bearers. I actually, you know what? I shit on Lorgar a lot, but I think Mateo made some very good points. I also liked Most Evil, kills kids, charismatic, and you simp for all the Chaos Gods. Like, I liked that. I did. And now the top 2, in a particular order. Can I have drums? Can I have drums? M's Kids coming in 2nd! Orcs win. Orcs went hard today. To be fair, a lot of people argued for the Orcs. Orcs went fucking hard today. Stern, they had memes, they had impressions. Sean's impression tipped it for me. Sean's impression tipped it for me. But both of you will be in the poll to be voted on. Why do I betray you? I'm sorry, the orcs, like, the impression was real good. However, there is something that I need to say first. So, there's a reason I'm going to do this. A big thank you to my royal patrons, my tier 2 supporter Izzo, and my tier 1 Patreon supporters Hansel Panda, Suki SJ, Sternly, Dan Cohen, Chaos315, and Matt Ben. So as you know, being a Patreon has benefits. What y'all didn't know is that Isno got to make a choice to be included in the poll. He wasn't able to make it today. He was given a spot. So there is 3 options in the poll. And all of the ones that I poll will be done, but you will decide the order in which I learn about them. However, it depends on the number of votes. So vote for your favorite or vote for your second favorite. The choice is yours. But it's important that you choose the one strategically that is best for you. Do you know what I mean? Do you guys get it? Hey, calm down. I'm going to start the poll. And you will see who Isno has added to the choice. And he wants to state categorically, if I'm coming to the end of Hell's Reach, y'all want to vote for him. That's his message to you. I understand despite all this harassment. What do you mean the harassment? What? It was Emp children. You nearly made me caring about a loyalist. Stern, you did a fucking great job, but did you hear the orc impression? It was great. Hey. The poll is up. Isno went with the Celestial Lions. Who do you want to see? Remember, the order that you vote is the order that'll be seen in. Celestial Lions. Isno's biggest argument is I'm coming up to the end of Hell's Reach, and Celestial Lions are necessary for that. So, careful with your votes, because you can only vote once. But the order they're picked is the order they're completed. So. No! How far are you from finishing the book? Like, are you close or, like, not at all close? Because it depends. It depends. If you're not close, then, like, ouch. I don't want to vote. Why, Dagan? Why are you crying? Don't cry. So forever. So we'll never get to it. There seems like the votes are changing. The votes are changing. I'm just saying, like, M's Children's and Orcs neck and neck right now. Celestian Lions were, like, really mistreated. Well, you know, guys, don't tie the poll. The Dawns boys, well, apparently that was one of the ones that was picked. So it's in the running. It's 100% in the running. If you tie the poll, I will literally put it down to a Patreon vote. So it's in your interest if you're a non-patron to get your vote in, because if you vote as a Patreon, if you don't vote and you tie it up, then the Patreons will get to pick. I think some people may have some secondary accounts here. Oh, Orcs are winning. Orcs are winning. Are Orcs gonna win? Also, why I'm not an Inquisition fan. Wait, but why did I make you cry, Dagon? How did I make you cry? You guys are tying it up. Cease. Desist. The Celestial Lions have got no love for the last few minutes. You have till 5 minutes. As soon as it turns 5 minutes, the vote goes to the Patreons. Patreons get final deciding votes if you'll tie it, because I'm sick of people tying my votes. They do it on Twitch to me all the time. I can't trust any of y'all. Where's my music? Lions are a very minor chapter. I might still do a video on them. I'm gonna cover all of them, but I might do it as a video, because they aren't getting the love here. They were cool. Well, I've been asked to do it. Honestly, my Twitch stream do the exact same thing. Y'all have 1 minute before it goes to a Patreon vote. Seven people will decide the fate of this. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. Fair point. And that's 5 minutes, you fuckers! Honestly, I'm trying to change my vote. Why? What did you vote for? It's too late. These are the people you have handed your fate. Izzo, Hansel Panda, Suki SJ, Sternly, Dan Cohen, Chaos 315, and Matt Ben. They will decide what we watch next. Quiver in fear? Yeah, Dan, you're at work. You didn't even get to, like, give your arguments for your faction, and you now get to vote. That will be done on Patreon. I will announce that to my Patreons. You guys know the drill. Who's gonna bribe me? I trust that the Patreons will choose the purple boys. Which ones? Hey! But yes, thank you so much, guys. This was super, super fun. It was nice to just hang out and chat. I even got to talk to some of you guys. I can't believe we've been doing this for like an hour 50. That's fucking amazing. But congratulations to Sean for winning. Sean did win. Sean convinced me. I'm an Orc fan. We do need to play chess. I am 100% down for chess. And I'm going to use these arguments for something later. You will also... Stop accepting bribes! God, the Patreons are just like... Bribe me. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in today. It was absolutely amazing. I had the best time with you guys. I'm proud of y'all for getting through today. Even more proud of you for getting through tomorrow. And Wiedersehen, Ivderci, Gudashuras, Alawego. Peace! See you on the next one. Bye!